I've been wanting to do a podcast for a long time now. I've always had an excuse. Sure, a lot of people saw Charlie Kirk was murdered, assassinated 2 days ago, and finally just gave me the, oomph I needed to say, let's just do this. Let's start doing it. I want to talk about family, faith, and freedom. 3 things I want to be passionate about. I want to try to, make a difference like he did, I think, for so many people. Did for myself, watch his videos all the time, and I think what happened with his death was huge, and a lot of people just thousands of them were created. Thousands of Charlie Kirks were created now because of that, right? So we live in a time where faith is under attack. If you're a Christian, you're a crappy person. You are big-headed, you're foolish, you don't believe in science, every single thing under the book, they find stones to throw at you, right? Families being redefined, where parents on both sides are out of the picture, fathers especially, not being there for their kids, just not being around. And freedom feels like it's almost slipping away, right? A lot of us feel this government's just grasping on us and holding on and controlling things. We don't know if what the media is saying is real. We don't know if the government's controlling what they're saying. We have so many questions, so many concerns. And again, this week we saw it, right? There's been school shootings. Charlie Kirk was murdered. It's just really crazy to see all of this stuff happening, right? So really fast, just want to share who I am. My name is Toby Taylor. And why I'm starting this podcast and doing it, whether I get one person looking at it, 2 people looking at it, whatever it is. My name is Toby Taylor. I'm 30 years old. Grew up in, technically born in Bakersfield, grew up a couple years out of Tracy, moved Taft, California, then to Bakersfield, then moved to Texas, now residing in Idaho. So had a couple journeys there. Most of my life I was in Bakersfield. Had a kid out of high school, got into door-to-door sales selling solar, did that for a long time, started a sales company, now have an electrical company, trying to branch out into getting different things, whatnot. Not really important or relevant, just to understand a little bit of background about me. That's not what I want to talk about. Again, my main points I want to talk about is faith, family, freedom. 3 things I think are most important in my life. I try to, live by with my family, growing more towards it than I ever have been in the past. I'm not perfect by any means, right? I think the biggest thing with all 3 of those things is faith's been super thing for me to struggle with, right? It's not been super easy. I think for most people, they just say, hey, I believe. And a lot of us are, how do you have that belief? I'm that person. My wife's not. It's crazy. But it was always having questions, always having doubts, always having concerns, always being like, how do you just believe? How do you know for sure you're going to heaven? How do you know you're doing the right thing? How do you know Jesus is real? How do you know all this stuff, right? It's very, very, it's not super easy. It's not easy to talk about. You don't know who you talk about. You talk to someone who's super religious, you think that they're going to judge you or not listen to you or not understand you, because especially if they're in a certain part in their life, it's hard to talk to them because they're already here. They're already such a high believer that you don't know if you could talk to them, right? So I think it's hugely important to just, on my own personal journey here, and again, I'm just going to kind of unload on this first one. Maybe people watch it back later on. I don't know, right? It doesn't really matter. Just want to have an outlet where my kids can come to see and talk about it. I was thinking about that with Charlie Kirk stuff. It's like, man, at least his kids have exactly who he was, who he wanted them to be, everything that he believed in videos for them to be able to look back on. Yeah, they don't have him. That's awful. It's terrible. It's not saying the videos make up for anything, but at least they have something to look back on. And I hope, again, the family part, I hope my kids can look back and watch some of these videos, be like, you know what? I'm so glad you watched this. If they watch them one day, no, if I'm here, not here, I love you guys. You guys are the most important thing ever. Liam, you're awesome. You're a stud. You're a killer. You're so caring. Try not to be such a crazy people's pleaser. You are awesome. Be okay with yourself. Be okay with loving yourself. And a couple people liking you. You're amazing. You're going to do phenomenal in your life. I know it, right? Trip, you are such a stubborn, hard-headed kid that's going to do exactly what you want to do. And it's going to be an amazing life for you. I can't imagine if I'm not there to see it. Just know I will be looking down on you, and I love you like death, like crazy, right? Death's just part of life. It's awful. But if anything happens, ever, know that. Another reason I'm making these, right? Benjamin, you're stubborn. You're just like me, dude. You are awesome. You are going to do exactly what you're so smart. You're so already well-spoken. You're going to do something great. Don't let anyone tell you can't do anything. Try your hardest. Do whatever you want. Make a difference in the world. Do something good. Watch these videos. Watch some of the Charlie Kirk videos. Be inspired to do stuff at a young age. Don't wait. Don't let people tell you that you're young. Start it as soon as you can. All 3 of you guys are awesome. But yeah, so right now, a lot of people have a hard time with dealing with what's going on. It's difficult to understand how this happened. How did a shooter get on top of a freaking roof, right? So the whole faith side is, I do believe that Charlie Kirk is a martyr. He died preaching about God, Jesus, getting believers, did more than more than most priests, pastors, people that are doing God's work, right? He's done more than most of them, like getting people to start just believing or thinking a little bit differently, getting into that. So like that's my hope. I hope that I can hopefully mainly just, even if it's one person, two people, three people, whatever, when I go and when I die and I go and I'm like, hey Jesus, like, did I change one person's life, two people's life, three people's life, whatever it was I outspoken? Was I unapologetic? Did I care about your praise and your love and your forgiveness only, and know that you're my Savior? And I think that's hard to say and want and understand. But if you're a Christian, you understand that's the ultimate thing you gotta go for. I'm very not good about not caring what, others say, do, whatever. It's always been like, well, I don't want to be too outspoken, make people feel uncomfortable. Like, yeah, I believe this, but they don't have to believe it. It's like, well, technically, if you love people and you love everyone, you're trying to spread God's word, then that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be outspoken, maybe get on some people's nerves, and maybe they don't agree with you, but that's totally fine. You still love them anyway, right? Right now, I think with the Charlie Kirk passing, 9/11 just happening, all these things, all these different awful things happening, we got to really be like, man, do you feel something in your heart? How faithful are you? Are you trying to live by God's example? I think a lot of people go to church, like myself included, not throwing anyone else under the bus, a perfect sinner. We all are, right? Where I go to church and I think that that's the minimum that I got to do and I'm good and whatever. When the reality is that's not the case. Yes, we have to believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins and he's our salvation and gives us eternal life and all of that. But we need to also be like, if I understand that, I have a bigger duty and obligation to the world to spread his word, not bite my tongue, not being rude or anything, but loving everyone and really trying to spread his word as much as possible and help youth, especially young people, understand and find their way in the world, and understanding that, like, don't just let the school systems teach them. Don't let just the governments teach them, because it's always going to be not the ideal path for them, right? The school system doesn't know better. The government doesn't know better. Most of the people in the schools, they hardly finish school, and that's what they just, decide. I'm not saying that's everyone. Like, I have a lot of great teachers, a lot of great memories, but a lot of my friends that became school teachers I know, they're very unimpressive, to say the least, right? We should be teaching kids to strive to do our best and to be a generation that cares so deeply about faith and our eternal salvation, where we're going to go, hell or heaven, right? And that's my personal journey right now, just starting to read the Bible. I'm not super Christian man, so I hope that I'm not coming off that way. I am very much touched, though. About a year ago, huge interaction. A couple days ago, literally thinking about doing something like this, and I just felt a super heavy weight and emotion just sifting over me that I just, I have to do something. That's what I'm doing, right? So I'm just starting in this. Like, I'm sure a lot of people want, and I'm trying to learn, trying to grow, reading the Bible, going to church, joining Bible study, doing all these things, and just really trying to be a better believer and get involved as much as I can, right? So with that, just going into the family, right? I've always tried to be a good dad. Dad took off when I was a kid. Huge part of my life that was around till I was, I don't even remember, 6th grade or whatever it was. I always thought I was the best dad in the world. Family is so important. Having a parent around is so important. Having the mom around, grandparents, nephews, cousins, all of that stuff. People around them, your kids, your family that you can be around. If you don't have anyone, if you don't have kids, you don't have this, go join a group, right? Go try to lead and encourage someone to do something right. Your family should be amazing. Your family should be one of your main priorities. If you're leading by faith and then dropping down into your family, it should be immaculate. You should be donating time, energy. A lot of people struggle with doing it, financial donations. That's totally fine. Donate your time and do it with your family. Let them see your generosity, and don't just say, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. Everyone has 30 minutes. Everyone has an hour. And don't watch an episode of Friends or whatever, right? It's very easy. The family is the backbone to America having strength, right? If we're all family oriented, faith oriented, that's what America was built off of. If we continue down the path that it's been on, we're going downhill, right? Every single great nation had a peak and a valley. If you look back over time, and we're at the point where I think it's like 150 years or whatever it is, where it's like we've had that prosperity where we're supposed to do that down tick. We can change that. We can say, hey, no, we're going to get back to our values. They say, easy times make weak men, hard times make strong men. We need to get back to that. We need to have that mentality. We need to change everything we're doing. We need to teach our family to really be hard workers, resilient individuals who are okay with just grueling effort and working hard. And that's one of the most important things, is making sure that I've seen a couple things that says like parents now spend more time with their kids today than any other generation before them, which is awesome to see. I think we're going to that turning point, like Charlie Kirk talks about a lot, where if we keep on that, the big thing is talking to these people that don't understand or believe the same things we do, is being compassionate, talking to them. A lot of times they have huge family traumatic things going on in their life that we don't know or understand, which is, it's awful. We aren't supposed to, but we can be compassionate about people. We can all be human beings and say, hey, you know what? Like, I don't know where this is coming from. Does anything in your life happen that maybe we can talk about? Maybe I can help. Maybe I can't. Maybe just talking about it will lighten the load, make you feel a little bit better. Maybe you just yelling at me is gonna make you feel a little better. I don't know. Well, what can I do? And being that person on faith and family and understanding and compassion is gonna be the best way forward, without a doubt, no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter anything, right? And teaching kids and family members and everything to do that is massive. People are so divided today. If we can just love and care about each person as a human being level, saying whether I agree with you or not is irrelevant. What I want to do is I want to get to the bottom of how you feel and understanding their actual, brain and mindset. Why do they feel that way? Why do I think they're so crazy? Are they crazy, or is something in their life happen to make them feel that way? Is this something that we can get past and understand, educate them and talk through to get them in the same playing field as I am? Or maybe just get them a little bit closer. It doesn't happen day one, right? One conversation doesn't change it. Maybe I plant the seed today and it bears fruit 2, 3, 8 years from now. So working with family, going through that, highly important. Freedom, political speech, violence, fear, all of that is under attack. I mean, there's no better example than the Charlie Kirk murder, assassination that just happened. He's debating people. He's talking to people. He's not hurting anyone. He's using words to talk to people. People willingly come up and talk to him, and someone shoots him for talking about his personal beliefs. What kind of world, what kind of country do we live in where we're gonna get assassinated because we talk? In no world is that right, okay, anything. We have to be able to talk and communicate, and unfortunately the left is so delusional that they do not listen. Doesn't matter what you say, doesn't matter how logical it could be, doesn't matter if it's 1 + 1 = 2. We have to be able to talk to them, and we have to be better about security and understanding that people are crazy, and a lot of them are on the left side. Where, why on earth are we not looking at rooftops in a building where this guy has millions and millions and millions of followers, where he's getting death threats constantly, getting attacked constantly, people yelling at him, telling them to hate him, saying death to Charlie, all these things, right? How do we not have someone monitoring a potential attack on rooftops? How are there videos of a guy going across a roof and no one says or does anything? Freedom of speech is supposed to be like our number one thing. If you're not allowed to talk, what are you allowed to do? And everyone's responsibility is to make sure that stays priority number one. All the people, shame on you, who are saying, you got what you deserved, hey, how's the Second Amendment now? All of this bullcrap, you are the problem, you are the issue. If you don't understand that or don't see that, I'm praying for you to please, Jesus, work your way into your heart, your soul, and make you see how wrong you are. Because that's all there is to that. No one deserves to die for talking. It's like saying because you don't agree and you're saying that he deserves to die, that you deserve to die. I'm not saying that. It's insane to say your thoughts and beliefs deserve and make it okay for you to be killed. If you look at the stats on how many people are okay with, they saying it's okay to assassinate Elon Musk or Donald Trump and all, it's crazy. Freedom in America, one of the main foundations of it is freedom of speech. if we do not have the freedom of speech and say what we want and speak out against things that are not right, what do we have? It's like, if you look way back in the day when they're developing the light bulb, it's like, if everyone just said, what if Thomas Edison wasn't allowed to think for himself or say, hey, I'm gonna, create a light bulb or whatever, right? How great would our nation be if we weren't allowed to think and talk and communicate and debate? Because some of the best things that come out of good back and forth, talking, communicating, understanding people's sides, not just shutting people down. That was one of the coolest things Charlie Kirk did, is he's always talked about how he understood the other side. He never made them feel bad or stupid or whatever. When they came at him hot, sometimes he was a little bit hot back. For the most part, if they said anything and it was an actual genuine question or debate, conversation back and forth, always showed respect, always super graceful, and it was an actual conversation, something that how it should be, right? I mean, there's a lot of talk on civil wars, things like that, and I hope to God that nothing like that does happen. But on the other side of that, we need to really understand that you can't keep killing people for talking and using their God-given rights and expect nothing to happen. I think one of the biggest things that Charlie did talk about is no violence. And one of the coolest things you see is all these vigils and all these things, peaceful protests, peaceful people, just nothing crazy, no rioting, no this, no that. And then you do see the left coming in and saying, F Charlie, and that's coming from that side again. I hope that our freedom of speech gets better, where people aren't so far off that they're so hurt by you giving your opinions. Like someone saying fathers should be in black communities so they're better off than they are today. How do you find that offensive? How do you call that person a racist? In what world does that make sense? Saying that immigration, like in every other country, should be handled more severely is insane. We're bleeding trillions of dollars in debt, verge of financial collapse, which people don't understand. They think, oh no, let's tax more people, tax. Who do you think has $21 trillion? Elon Musk doesn't. All the wealthy people in the world do not have that money. We need to be real and stop just blaming other people and letting other people fix our situations and circumstances. We need to be understanding that we have to do things. We have to stop giving away free money to every single person that comes to America just because they come to America. We have to start putting Americans first. We have to start caring about Americans. We have to start protecting Americans. Any single public figure in general, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, you're doing a public speaking event, you should have the roofs watched. You shouldn't have to be worried about getting sniped in the face. You should have buildings being secured. You should have exits on the roads being watched. So if someone tries to get away, if something does happen or an attempt does happen, they're caught right away. Being able to make it 4 hours back away is insane. It's an impossible thing to, I don't understand how he didn't have something put into place for Charlie Kirk to have the person captured right away, B, for it not to happen I guess A is for it not to happen in general at all, B, for it not to have been immediately caught and secured, and C, how they take credit. And I'm a proponent of law enforcement, but at the same time, I'm not. How do you take credit for a guy turning himself in? Law enforcement's saying, oh, we're so amazing. FBI saying we're so amazing. The state police, the governor, all these people, we're so amazing. How are you so amazing? You took multiple days. You said you didn't sleep at all to have caught the guy because he turned himself in. We are too advanced for that to be something that happens. For us to be so ignorant and not caring that we don't watch someone that arguably was gonna be the president one day for sure, for his murderer to theoretically being able to be getting away with it if he didn't admit what he did to his father. It makes no sense that that's how it should work. Freedom is, we should be able to talk and communicate with people without the fear of death. Whether you're in, a lot of people say he incited violence, this, that, and the other. Never in a million years did he incite violence. Did he say, hey, violence is the way, or kill people, or hurt people, or anything like that. Never was that ever said or done. He spoke against the opposite. And taking small clips and bits of things is so wild. We need to all strive to say, hey, see it from both sides, look at both sides. Don't just watch one news station. Don't look at just that one. Look at both. If you're looking at one, you're getting brainwashed, you're getting polluted. And I think that's something that we need to all look at is, instead of being Republican or Democrat, what does freedom actually mean? Freedom means we're not scared to die from our government. We have the ability to make decisions on our own on what is right and wrong. And We can go out, we can talk, we can wear what we want, we can eat what we want, we can believe what we want, we can own what we want, we can do things that truly actually make us free. The government shouldn't be able to tell us what we can see, can't see, whatever. The people shouldn't be able to tell you what it is. We should be able to have debates against each other, understand each other's sides, think about it, be meticulous in that, and understand what do we actually believe. What do the facts say? What are just the random words that sound great say? And go from there. It shouldn't be anything over that. We should really understand it's not okay to just say, it's this because my parents believed it, which is where a lot of us are at. Or because I'm black, I'm going to say I'm Democrat, and anything this person says because he's white is wrong. That's not the way forward. That's not freedom. That's not the way any country should be, let alone America, where it's supposed to be the nation that's leading the way forward, that's being the movement, right? So that's the whole part of this wolf pack, right? Wolf packs are family oriented. They're a tight-knit group. They care about family. They care about leading the pack forward. We need to all try to be that. They're obviously that person that's helping someone. It's like the dichotomy of leadership, right? I'm going to help one person, and that person's going to help someone, and that person's going to help someone, and that person's going to help someone. And if we all start making the right decisions and all having thoughtful debate and careful consideration of what news outlet we're listening to, and are they right, are they wrong, and actually looking into each thing. A lot of things that Charlie looked into were super scary, and like how birth control, those same companies own the other companies that then sell the in vitro and all these random things. It's wild, right? You need to do your research on it and not just believe one thing, not say, oh, because I like this guy, I'm gonna listen to every single word he says, right? And that's what freedom's about, is being able to make your own decision on the facts. But that's one thing we need to look for as a nation is an actual fact, is it an opinion, and going forward in that way. So in summary, faith is one thing I'm going to talk about a lot. My journey going forward, my growth. Again, I'm very base level this. There's countless people. I'm nowhere near Charlie Kirk at all in the slightest bit, 0.01%, right? I don't understand anything. I'm base level. I'm green. I'm going to have my journey, my thoughts, my concerns, all of that talked about because I'm not just perfect. Going through that, family, I have a wife, I have 3 beautiful kids, how that roll from faith to family goes, and then freedom in general, the country, politics, everything as a whole on how, we're moving forward and how it can really just drive us if we focus on the right things, not wanting an easy life, wanting a hard life, wanting to have a life of substance, not just a whatever. I'm hoping on this journey I can document being an ignorant person in a lot of these aspects to being just more knowledgeable, never perfect, always striving for more, never saying I know, you don't know, I'm right, you're wrong, and learning and growing. And I hope that a lot of people can enjoy that and do the same for themselves so we can be a better nation as a whole, better youths as a whole, right? Even adults, obviously youths are who's gonna be the turning point, right? Everyone needs to start really just looking internally. If you like this, if you want to hear about these things at all, please subscribe. Join me in the future conversations. This is obviously a solo one, intro one, very base level. Probably will have no viewers on this one. Totally fine. Maybe down the road after I make 50, 100, I'll have 5 or 7 people that watch them. I don't, again, care. I just hope that maybe one person can change, even if it's my kids. It doesn't matter. But if we don't hold on to faith, family, freedom, we lose everything that makes us who we are. That's what being a human being is about. Not American, a human being. Let's go. If you like this, please subscribe, and that's it.